1962, world peace was threatened by the most critical period in history since the end of the war. Red puppet Castro and the Russians turned Cuba into an island fortress, and U.S. planes spotted missile installations aimed at key points in the Western Hemisphere. Planes brought back evidence that moved the Organization of American States and the Western allies to back President Kennedy unanimously. In the face of U.S. determination, the Soviets dismantled their missiles and bombers and shipped them home. Any aggressive threat in the Western Hemisphere would not be tolerated.
Good morning, Mr. Applebaum, and how are you this morning? Don't even get me started on my morning. What's got you so chipper today? Hey, look what I managed to sneak. Just make sure you finish it all this time, okay? You know I get in trouble if you don't. Well, don't worry about it too much. Doesn't look like you'll be eating food much longer anyway.
So tell me about your morning.
Oh, nothing too bad. I'm starting to think that Mrs. Anderson shits the bed on purpose, though.
Well, we all want to be remembered. So tell me about your morning.
You already asked me that, Mr. Applebaum.
Right, of course.
Are you feeling okay today?
No problem. So tell me about your morning.
Everything okay?
Sorry.
It's okay. Alrighty. Make sure you take these with water. I'll be back sometime next Wednesday. Mr. Applebaum? Stanley. Stanley.
Sorry.
Are you sure you're feeling all right?
Just thinking about some things, that's all.
Well, what kind of things?
Well, do you know what today is?
Sunday.
Sunday, the 28th day of October, which makes it the 56th anniversary of the day the world almost ended.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you've heard of the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Oh, a little bit. I mean, I never really...
People don't think about it today, but the Cuban Missile Crisis was crazy. Nowadays, it's just something you read about in the history book. But back when it was going on, it wasn't like that. I mean, people were walking around in a daze. Reasonable people thought the world was about to end, and soon. Hey, you want this?
I got it for you.
It's all right. You're here listening. You eat this and I'll eat mine.
All right.
Well, it didn't look like there was any way out of it. I remember my French teacher crying, trying to explain to us. It seems the Russians had found the nukes that we had put in Turkey, which we'd promised not to do. So they put their nukes in Cuba. And it wasn't like either side could just back out. I mean, if you started removing your nukes, the other side would start shooting. Or at least that's the way it seemed then. So old Jack Kennedy decided it might be a good time to have a sit-down with the Russian guy. I can't remember his name.
Khrushchev.
Right, Khrushchev. Anyway, Kennedy and the Russian guy were to have this sit-down and decide whether or not to end the world. So, a bunch of high school students like we were, we did the only thing we could think of to do. We threw a party. Threw it on the same night that Kennedy and the Russian guy were going to work it out.
Khrushchev.
But Olivia, there was this girl. I'd seen her before. I'd seen her around. She was the kind of girl you could pass in the hallway and she'd inspire you to find somewhere private. Her name was Edna. Well, girl like Edna, she's gonna go to this big bang party, so of course I've got to go too. Comes the day, eventually Edna shows up and we got to talking a little and we got to dancing a little.
Dancing?
I was a great dancer.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was.
Of course.
Well, finally, I talked Edna into going out to her car. But she started crying. She was very religious, hardcore Catholic. And she had this cross necklace that she wore every day. But I remember now what it was that I told her. I'm really pretty proud of this. I mean, I can be quick on my feet. I said, Edna, I know it's scary, but you don't really have anything to worry about. Come tomorrow, there's going to be such a crowd at the pearly gates that God's just going to be waving everybody through. Yeah, and that worked. That did it. I made her laugh. That was the thing. I made her laugh. But here's the best part. I mean, we're there in her car, and the car's rocking, and and we hear it on the radio. The Russians are getting rid of their nukes. The world's saved. Everybody started cheering and laughing, but Edna went white as a sheet.
Alrighty. I finished mine. Now you've got to finish yours. Okay?
No problem.
Okay, Casanova. I'll be back next Wednesday. And don't be giving Leanne and Rachel too much.
I'm sorry.
That's
It's
fine.
so stupid.
No, it's not. It's okay.
I can't even taste it. I'm sitting here looking at it and it's gone. And I'll not be able to remember you, or Edna, or that I ever lived. God damn it!
Hey, I'm here.
It's fine. I'm all right.
It's okay.
So, oh, Miss Anderson's crapping in the bed, huh? Maybe you ought to. Maybe you ought to.
It's okay, Stanley. 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 Hey. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Line's gonna be so long.
Stanley?
Line's gonna be so long tomorrow, Edna.
No.
The line's gonna
Hey!
be.
No! Stanley, stop! Stanley? No! No!
Oh God, no.
Just stop. Just be quiet. Just
Olivia,
give me a minute.
Olivia.
Just stop!
Where did you get that? That's mine. I've been looking for that. You know it's mine. Why didn't you?
Olivia, it was my last chance.
Did you rape that girl?